Oh my god, everything's so white. Oh, it's the backyard again. And that can only mean that I'm doing another DVD collection thingamajiggy. Now, you know how, like, everyone pretty much says, like, my collection has grown a lot since my last video? Well, my collection literally has grown quite a lot. It's actually grown so much that it's completely filled my entire first shelf, and I had to move some DVDs down to the second shelf. Now, it would take me quite a long time to get through all this, so what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to do the first Doctor now, the second Doctor will be uploaded next week, and the third Doctor will be uploaded the week after that. So, let's get to it with the first Doctor. So, journering. Someone's going to tell me in the comments exactly how to say that word, and then I'm going to just feel stupid. Journering. I can't tell what the right term for it is. Anyway, okay, you guys don't want to hear me ramble about syllables. Let's just move on. Okay, so start off, of course, at the beginning with Beginning, which contains an unearthly child, the Daleks, the Edge of Destruction, and Marco Polo. I remember this was my very first Doctor Who DVD because I decided to just collect them all in order. And I was really excited when I got it. Doctor Who, old Doctor Who was nothing like I thought it was. I thought there was going to be like really old stuff and I thought it was going to like start on Gallifrey and then they like create their first TARDIS and it was the Doctor who was sent to test it out. But no, it's actually nothing like that. It's far more boring than that, unfortunately. But, it's okay. Still rather go into the alternate dimension where the show was like that, but I guess it just won't be the same. Anyway, so the Keys of Marinus. This feels light. There's a DVD in there, right? Yeah. Okay, the Keys of Marinus. One of my favorite William Hartnell stories. Not my favorite, but one of my favorite. It's a very nice, fun little runaround, even though every single episode is technically its own story. So, anyway, we don't have that much time. Moving on. Oh, wait, that's the same thing. The Aztec Special Edition. Why is it called the Special Edition? Well, normally it would be called Special Edition only because it has a second disc with extra special features. Except this actually has a pretty good reconstruction of Galaxy 4. It does have a little bit of clips missed out in episodes 1 and 2, but basically the whole story is here. The Aztecs I don't really find that entertaining. I don't know. I just don't find historicals entertaining, except for one exception. But anyway, moving on to the Sensorites. I was really hard on this in my review of the Sensorites, and I don't know why. I actually didn't think it was that bad of a story. Maybe I was just in a bad mood when I was filming the video. Anyway, the Sensorite isn't that bad. It's just kind of boring, that's all. The Ring of Terror, another historical. You can figure out my opinion from there. Planet of Giants. Very good, entertaining story. Why do so many people say that this story is bad? It's actually really good. And there's a pretty good reconstruction on this of the original parts 3 and 4, as it was originally a 4-parter before it was condensed into a 3-parter for some reason. The Dalek Invasion of Earth. I don't really know. I mean, like, I'm not saying that's a bad story. It's just, it doesn't really stand out in my collection. It just, when I think of all the episodes of Doctor Who, this one just doesn't really stand out. Well, I guess it does stand out, but only because it's the first time that we say goodbye to a companion, and as well as it being story number 10. You know, story 1, story 10, and story 100 are always the most memorable in most TV shows. Not really in Doctor Who, but, you know. The Rescue and the Romans. Rescue's good. Nice little introduction for Vicky. Nice little twist at the end, even though you kind of see it coming. And the Romans is the only historical which I actually really, really like. It's not that I hate all the other historicals. It's just I don't get all jumpy whenever someone suggests watching it with me. But the Romans I find highly entertaining. I guess because it's comedy. But anyway, moving on to a video transfer to DVD. So there's no shiny cover for this. Well, I guess there is kind of a shiny cover. It's this thing. This is the Web Planet with parts 1 to 3 in it. And this is the Web Planet with parts 4 to 6 on it. The White Planet is kind of boring. My grandpa, when I showed it to my grandpa, he stormed out of the house in a very bad mood. I don't know if something happened to him at work or something, but he was really angry when I showed it to him. Oh, and if you're wondering where the Crusade is, it is on the Lost in Time set, which we will get to in a minute. This is the Space Museum and the Chase. Both really entertaining stories. The Chase is actually probably my second favorite William Hartnell story, and the Space Museum is quite entertaining too. So many people hate it. It says that episode 1 is really good, and that just falls to bits, but I think that it's really good the whole way through. Another video transfer to DVD. Okay, this is gonna be hard. Okay, yeah. Go in there. Okay. Doctor Who, the Time Meddler. It wasn't until just now that I realized that this doesn't really stand out in my collection either. I mean, it introduces the monk, but he doesn't really... He appears again in the Daleks' master plan, but then we never hear from him again. Kind of awkward since his final words were, "You haven't seen the last of me," and then we just never see him. And seeing as how Doctor Who is now... I think that we can all agree that Doctor Who is no longer the show that it once was. I have a feeling that we're never going to revisit the monk. It's kind of sad, isn't it? Oh, this is going to be hard. And the 2015 thing, I was able to just pull them all out because the end of the shelf was like there, and I could just lean all the discs over and pull them out. But this is like a tight fit. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Come on. Come on! It'd be awkward if I just squished like half of the DVDs. Mission to the Unknown. Galaxy 4 is on the Aztec Special Edition, remember? Okay, so anyway, Mission to the Unknown. One-parter. Kind of hard to understand because the audio is bad, but it's okay. Dang it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pull out any of those discs. Is it okay if I just don't? Can you forgive me if I just don't? No? Okay, fine. Come on, dude. Come on. I forget, I'm just pulling them all out. Well, there's Mission to the Unknown. I just talked about that one. Go inside. There you go. The Myth Makers. I heard that's a comedy story just like the Romans, but I don't know. It just didn't hit me. I didn't see any comedy in that one. I didn't really see any comedy in the Romans either, but I don't know. Just doesn't really work for me, those historicals. Thank goodness they went away after the Patrick Troughton era, except for that one exception in the Peter Davison era. The Daleks Master Plan, parts 1 to 6. Yeah, can't really remember the story. I haven't watched it for a while. I mean, like, it's not like the Moonbase or like any other story where if you want to watch it, then all you really need is like an hour and a half or something. This is a 12-part story. Do the math here. So each story is like 25 minutes. So the first part brings us there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's the second part. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Third part. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Fourth part. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Fifth part, I think? This is going to take a while. Future Callum, who is currently editing this episode, please speed this up. Okay, so if I did my math correctly, which I probably didn't, the minute hand should be up here. I was so focused on counting 25 minutes, I completely forgot to count how many times I went around the clock. I have a feeling that's about half a day, though. Moving on. Oh, and Daleks Master Plan, yeah, good story. Everything alright? Wait, did I just... There. I think the Daleks Master Plan just got tangled up with the Myth Makers. Sorry. Okay, so you know all those guys in Region 2 who just have DVDs for their entire shelf? Well, as you can see, mine isn't like that, so it can sometimes be a pain, but also really cool and unique. And you can be proud of yourself for having a unique collection, where you realize that no one really cares. The Daleks Master Plan, parts 7 to 12. What was the Pony of the Christmas special again? It didn't really have anything to do with the plot. Did it? Did it have anything to do with the plot? If it did, then please leave a comment down below and prove me wrong, because I think part 7 was useless. But the Daleks' master plan kind of dark at the end, but yeah, oh boy. Okay, so the massacre. Apparently this is a very popular story. Please hold on a moment while I pick up the DVD again in shame. It just didn't really... I just found it really boring. I honestly can't remember anything. It had like someone who looked like the Doctor, and I heard that's very dark at the end, and it introduces Dodo at the very end, but I found this story really just... I don't know. I just... If you ask me, point out everything that happened in the Mind Robber, I'll be able to get details down to as close as Jamie wipes his nose. But the massacre, I honestly can't even remember how it started. How did it... Oh yeah, a boy was walking down the street and then the TARDIS materialized. Can't remember what happened after that. I think Steven said something. Can't remember what though. An actual DVD for once. But we can't see the full thing because the loose cannon reconstructions are in the way. But it says The Ark on it. The Ark's a pretty entertaining story. I recommend that. Come on. The Celestial Toymaker. Laugh at me all you want. This is my favorite William Hartnell story. I can see why people hate it. But I just didn't hate it. I just really like the idea of the Celestial Toymaker. I don't see why he didn't return. And I would really like to see him return. I have a feeling that he won't, for the same reason that I think that the monk won't return, but I think it's pretty good. The Gunfighters. Oh boy, the musicals, because I love musicals so much, and I wish that musicals would all just take over the human population and stuff. Hooray for musicals. Here we are, the Savages. This doesn't really stand out either, does it? You say goodbye to Steven in it. That's all I can really remember. I can remember this clip of Dodo and Steven running from arrows being shot at them or something in the middle of part 1, but I can't remember anything else. Come on. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering why the Gunfighters and the War Machines is in these cases, it's because they're also video transferred to DVDs. Anyway, the War Machines, kind of entertaining. It's not really the first story that I think of when I think about Doctor Who, but it's watchable. The Smugglers. It's a historical. Figure out my opinion from there. And the 10th Planet, parts 1 to 3. Parts 1 to 3. Why do you have a video transfer of only the 10th Planet, parts 1 to 3? Well, it's kind of a long story. You see, okay, so as you can see, and if you watch my very, very early videos on my YouTube channel, you can see that I pretty much have a pretty big VHS collection down here. And one of my VHSs was the 10th Planet. And as you know, part 4 is missing. And then the reconstruction and all that. But then it's excuse me. When I heard it was being animated on DVD, I thought, oh, maybe I'll never get to see the reconstruction again unless if I video transfer it. I actually have my video transferring thing right here. There, I always go for easy wizard mode because it's easy and it makes me feel like a wizard. It's kind of malfunctioned, but it's been working over the past little while. So anyway, the 10th Planet, I started video transferring it over because I thought I would never see the reconstruction again. It might be somewhere on the internet, but it could always get called down for copyright. And so I video transferred it, but for some reason it got stuck in the middle of part 4. Like it just stopped. It stopped transferring the data in the middle of part 4. So then I tried to transfer the data that I did record onto DVD, but it just all seemed to be erased. So I tried again. And again, it got stuck in the middle of part 4. I can't remember if I tried a third time, but if I did, it again got stuck in the middle of part 4. So instead, I decided to just transfer parts 1 to 3, and then I would come back to it and video transfer it part 4 later. But then the actual DVD came in the mail for me, and then I figured out that it actually did have the reconstruction as a special feature. So then I looked at my video transfer of parts 1 to 3, and I was just like, might as well just keep it here as an honorable member, but I don't think that's ever going to enter a DVD player again. I don't know, I might sell it on eBay, but who would buy that? Austin Time. This has The Crusades, parts 1 and 3, and the audio soundtrack of parts 2 to 4. It is not the same as the audio CD. The audio CD has audio description of it, but this is just simply the audio soundtrack running through. On part 2, it can sometimes be a pain because the cliffhanger is just literally just a bunch of dramatic music, and it's a very visual thing. You kind of need the reconstruction for it. I'm just going to zoom all the way over here because I do have the MP4 files reconstruction, which is basically loose cannon. I don't know, maybe it got tired of sending me individuals, and then he just sent me a giant disc packed with every single reconstruction ever. But I still asked for the individuals anyway. But the point is that it has Marco Polo parts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in color and black and white. The Reign of Terror parts 4 and 5. Crusades parts 1, 2, and 4. So Galaxy 4 parts 1, 2, 3, and 4. Mission to the Unknown part 1. The Mythmakers parts 1, 2, 3, 4. The Daleks Master Plan parts 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, and 12. The Massacre parts 1, 2, 3, and 4. The Celestial Toymaker parts 1, 2, and 3. The Savages parts 1, 2, 3, 4. Smugglers parts 1, 2, 3, 4. The Test Player part 4 is a died there for some reason. Wow, that sounded like a fake sneeze. It was a real sneeze, I swear, no one cares. But yeah, so all the reconstructions are on there. And now I have also video transferred to DVD Doctor Who, The Hartnell Years. It's a pretty good thing. I quite enjoy having it in my collection. Hang on, the VHS is down here somewhere. Let me just get it out. Here it is, Doctor Who, The Hartnell Years, which is basically Sylvester McCoy, the actor of the 7th Doctor, talking about the Hartnell years and how a whole bunch of episodes are missing. And then at the time, you couldn't really watch, because you know how, like, there are missing stories, but some of the episodes have been recovered, so it's like only like one surviving episode, but the rest of the story is missing. So at the time, people wanted to see that one surviving episode, but they couldn't because, I don't know, they hadn't discovered DVD or reconstruction or anything, or animation. So this is basically just a VHS full of a bunch of missing episodes. Actually, it's not a bunch, it's only 3. And one of them isn't actually missing. It's just simply the very first version of the pilot episode. And so you can watch that alongside the original Unearthly Child on my beginning DVD, and you will see a bunch of differences. Why is the screen all blurry? There we go. It also has the Crusades Part 3. Why does it have the Crusades Part 3 again? Oh yeah, because at the time Part 1 hadn't been recovered yet, so it's just Part 3, because that was the only surviving episode of the Crusade at that time. And it also has a Celestial Toymaker Part 4 in it, with little intros and outros and mid-tros of Sylvester McCoy just speaking. I found it quite entertaining. I like to watch that thing through. So yeah, the Hartnell Years is quite entertaining. I also have The Edge of Destruction and the pilot episode VHS collection on video transfer DVD as well. And I also have The Missing Years, which I don't think I actually watched. I know The Underwater Menace episode 3 is on there, but anyway. That is the William Hartnell era. I believe that I have everything. Yeah, I think that's all it. I don't know. If there's anything else from the William Hartnell era that I don't have, leave a comment down below. And I do have the Dalek movie collection, but it's down on the second shelf. So, this video has gotten long. I will see you next time where I do the Patrick Troughton era of the collection as it currently stands. Goodbye.